The average business has a problem. In the vast majority of markets, customer experience is more closely correlated with retention, referrals, growth and profitability than any other single variable. And yet, what percentage of businesses have actually bothered to define their customer journey? 10%? 20% maybe? I think there are two reasons why most businesses fail to give this the attention it needs. The first is this: customer experience sounds a bit too digital-centric, particularly when those of us in marketing refer to it as CX, which obviously we do all the time because it makes it sound like we know our onions. The Wikipedia page helpfully describes customer experience as the totality of cognitive, affective, sensory and behavioural consumer responses during all stages of the consumption process, from pre-sale through to consumption, through to post-sale. I mean, fuck me, it's the kind of bollocks I'd write. And actually, this is hugely misleading. Customer experience is as complicated or indeed as simple as we want it to be. And whilst it can be entirely digital, it can just as easily be entirely offline. I think when we clarify that, it can start to bring down some of the perceptual barriers. But there's a bigger problem, particularly for those businesses that do have a strong offline dimension. CX, customer experience, can be bloody difficult to manage. You see, employees have these irritating things called personalities, and sadly they're not as easy to control as an email autoresponder. And actually, do you want every email going out sounding like it's from a robot? Or everyone answering the phone with the same opening line? Probably not. In fact, it turns out that these difficult to control human behaviours have more potential to positively impact the customer experience than anything else, precisely because they're difficult to control. For most businesses, therefore, rather than prescribing every behaviour and every process a counterproductive task unless you happen to be working with big machinery or Big Macs, it's far better to identify just a small number of critical moments and then go on a mission to become utterly famous for them. A few years ago, I played golf at Celtic Manor. I don't really remember a lot about the golf course, I'm sure it was very nice. And as for the accommodation, it was just another oversized 4-star hotel. But there is something that stayed with me. When I arrived at the pro shop, a man came up, picked up my 20-year-old golf clubs and took them down to the first tee, where he set them up next to a little pyramid of golf balls so I could loosen up. I didn't pay for it, I didn't expect it, but for precisely those reasons, I'm still talking about it now. Every business has the opportunity to create these moments. And incidentally, the more boring your market, the bigger impression they're going to make. And of course, by doing something utterly remarkable through these half-dozen customer interactions, you shift the entire culture of the organization. Or to put it another way, after the chap had painstakingly assembled my pyramid of golf balls, he probably didn't then sit down next to them for a quick smoke and a Fanta. Some people call these wow moments, others magic moments. It doesn't matter. What they are is the backbone of your customer experience and the thing that will ultimately determine the strength of your brand more than everything else combined. See you next time.